Welcome to today's episode of Tea Time with Michelle. I am so excited. I just got a new mug, and you probably can see why I'm excited about this mug. It says Change the World and has this super awesome crown on it, which I love crowns. And the other thing I love about this mug is that it actually has Bible verses and promises on the back. I got this fabulous mug for only $5 at Walmart in the graduation section. So if you want to grab your own, you better go get one fast because I bet they're going to sell out fast. These are great mugs. And they're great for tea. Today's episode seems to get funnier and funnier. Today's episode is called Stuff Happens. And briefly, this is my third time attempting to record this, so I'm really hoping and I have my fingers crossed that all this technology is going to work and it's not going to have any problems. So if you're watching this, it meant it worked. But what got me started thinking about all of this was watching an episode of one of my favorite shows this week. It's a show called Revolution, and the basic gist of the show is what would life be like if we suddenly had no more electricity. There's a lot more that goes to it, but that's the basic gist of it. Well, one of the main characters this week had a very bad day. He wrecked his wagon, he was attacked by the bad guys, then he was injured, then he fell through the floorboards of an old house that everything had decayed and fallen down around him. Then a wall fell over the hole, so he couldn't get back out the same way he fell in. It was just a bad day, and stuff was happening left and right to him. Now, while he was in the basement, he noticed a poster, and if you're a kid of the 70s or maybe even the 80s, you'd remember this poster. It's a picture of a little kitten hanging from a bar, and it says, "Hang in there." Well, that's sort of what this whole episode is about. What do we do when stuff happens? For example, this whole week, technology has just happened to me. My laptop that's 4 years old really started acting like a 3-year-old. It was having temper tantrums and not working properly. So I thought, okay, most laptops only last about 4 years. So I set out to replace it and decided to buy a Macintosh, just a little Mac Mini, and switch back to a desktop. Got it home, unpacked the whole thing, only to discover I didn't have the right plugs to plug everything in. Okay, so now I'm back to square one. I have had to use my husband's laptop this week just to get things posted on the internet. And right now I'm borrowing my kid's laptop. The good news is we have those things. So I've had to work around things. And then when I was trying to record today, I tried recording with a camera. It didn't work. Finally, the battery ran out. Oh, and the other thing that happened was last night our internet died. So it was 2 o'clock this afternoon before I had internet even. So all this stuff has been happening all this week. And there's a lot of people who would just say, okay, I give up. I'm not even going to keep trying. This is a sign from heaven, or it's Satan's attack that I should just quit. And honestly, that thought has crossed my mind. Everything is going wrong right now for me, it seems like, in my business. And yet, I know I have a purpose, and I know I have a reason for being here. And I'm thinking a lot of it has to do with you. That you are the person that I need to be talking to, and you need to hear this today. So I'm glad you're here. So if you've been going through a week sort of like I have, or a day like the main character in my favorite show, I want to encourage you to keep going, to hang in there. Now, there's this whole spiritual thing. Is this God saying to stop? Is this Satan trying to keep you from moving forward? Well, that's all possibilities. I believe we live in a spiritual world. Some people call it the universe, and I believe in angels and demons and God and Satan. To me, yes, all those things can happen around us and can actually make things more difficult. However, it's not always the case. That's not always what's going on. Sometimes stuff happens. For example, laptops, they only last about 4 years. So I know it's not some satanic attack or God telling me to stop. It's just that my laptop's done. Things are not made to last like they used to. I actually have an alarm clock radio that was given to me when I was 16. I'm 50 years old now, and the thing still works. I bought each of my kids, and I have 4 of them, their own alarm clock radios, and they died within a year. So stuff just isn't made to last as long. So the next time you really feel like the world is turned against you or the universe is collaborating to bring you down, stop a minute and ask yourself, is it Satan, is it God, or is stuff happening? Either way, it's probably just stuff happens. We live in a world where things break down. It's what we call a fallen world. So I want to encourage you to keep going, to hang in there. And to wrap this up, the show of Revolution, what happened in the end was this main character spent 2 days in this basement with no food or water, kind of figuring the end was near. He'd injured himself, he was bleeding, and he was ready to take his life and say, okay, I quit. But right about that time, that human nature, that will to live, welled up in him. And he decided to take things in his own hand and managed to escape and get out and was basically saved. So that's what you need to dig for. You need to dig for that human need to live, to keep going. So if you know you have a purpose, you know you have a calling on your life, you know that God is calling you to do something, you've got to get that angry, high energy, I am not going to quit. So I want you to keep that in mind and hang in there if you're having one of those days, weeks, or even months and years. I've certainly had years like that. So I want to keep you going for that. So if you've liked what you've heard today, I want you to leave a comment. You can leave it below in the post and tell me something that's gone wrong, but you overcame it. I think we all could use those stories of encouragement. So I really hope you'll leave a post there. And feel free to check out my website at leave off the WWs, michellefieldllc.com. You'll find the link here. And also, come on over to my Facebook page. I'd love to interact with you there. It's facebook.com/MichelleFieldLLC. I'm pretty easy to find. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you hang in there. And I hope you enjoyed your tea.